You are standing at a restaurant counter deciding where to sit. You pick a table, move your coffee, and keep talking. Nothing about it feels impressive. But the woman beside you noticed how little uncertainty the moment required. That is what older men often miss. Age does not only change what women see, it changes how ordinary behavior reads. Here is why some older men get more attention from women than they realize. 1. You look decided in small moments. You are meeting friends for dinner. The host asks whether the group wants the table by the window or the quieter one in back. Everyone does that little social dance where nobody wants to choose. You say, the quieter one works, and the group moves. You did not command anybody. You did not make a speech. You simply had a preference and were comfortable having it. Women notice that because small decisions expose something larger. A man who has spent years living his own life usually has fewer moments where he needs the room to tell him what he likes. He has ordered enough meals, taken enough wrong turns, and made enough real decisions that choosing the table does not become a referendum on his worth. She is not impressed by the table. She is registering that you seem already acquainted with yourself. 2. Your stories sound lived instead of rehearsed. Someone mentions a city you visited 20 years ago. You tell one short story about getting caught in the rain outside a closed train station. You remember the cheap umbrella, the terrible coffee, and the stranger who pointed you toward the right platform. Notice what is missing. There is no sales pitch. You are not turning the story into proof that you are adventurous, successful, or interesting. That difference matters. Younger men sometimes tell a story while also watching the room to see what the story is doing for their image. An older man with enough history can simply tell the memory. She hears the difference. The details say you have actually been somewhere. The lack of performance says you do not need the story to make you bigger than you are. 3. You do not turn an attractive woman into an audition. A woman joins the conversation. She is beautiful, and everyone knows it. One man becomes louder. Another suddenly has 3 impressive things to mention. You keep speaking to her the same way you were speaking to everybody else. That can be strangely noticeable. Not because women want to be ignored. We notice when our appearance changes a man's entire operating system. We also notice when it does not. If you are older, you may have known enough attractive women to understand that beauty does not require a special personality from you. So you ask a normal question, listen to the answer, and let the conversation be ordinary. She is not feeling a lack of interest. She is feeling the absence of pressure. And sometimes that is exactly what lets interest appear. The first 3 are easy to miss because none of them looks like flirting. The next ones are where age can stop reading like a number and start reading like evidence. 4. You let your age belong to you. Someone guesses you are a few years younger than you are. You smile and tell her the real number. No apology, no long explanation about how young you still feel, no attempt to bargain the number down. That reaction can carry more attraction than the number itself. A few gray hairs, a line around the eyes, a birthday that starts with a 5 or a 6. None of those automatically tells a woman how to read you. Your relationship with them does. When you treat your age like ordinary information, she is free to do the same. She does not have to reassure you before she can enjoy you. She is not thinking, he is old. She is noticing a man who does not seem to need permission to be the age he already is. 5. Your time feels real. She asks whether you are free Tuesday. You check and say, Thursday is better because Tuesday is already spoken for. Again, tiny moment. But an established life leaves fingerprints. There are people you see, responsibilities you keep, routines you chose years before she arrived. You do not have to pretend to be busy. Your calendar simply contains a life. Women notice the difference between a man who withholds time to create mystery and a man whose time already belongs to real things. One feels like a tactic, the other feels like structure. And structure can be attractive because it tells her she would be entering a life that is already standing, not being asked to become the thing holding it up. 6. Small problems stay small around you. The restaurant brings the wrong side dish. The parking machine eats a coin. The television remote decides tonight is the night it will stop cooperating. You fix what can be fixed, ask for help when it cannot, and keep the evening moving. That is not cinematic confidence. It is better. It is ordinary confidence. By the time a man has lived a few decades, a woman can tell whether every inconvenience becomes a personal insult. When it does not, she notices. Not because she expects you to solve her life, but because your nervous system is not asking everyone nearby to join every minor emergency. The problem was small. You allowed it to remain small. That tells her more than a polished line ever could. 7. Your preferences are already yours. You order the bitter coffee because you actually like it. You admit you hate a popular movie. You choose the old song everyone else forgot. There is no little glance around the table first to make sure the preference is socially approved. Years give a man opportunities to discover what survives fashion. Some men use that to become rigid, but others simply become specific. They know what they enjoy without needing everybody else to enjoy it too. Women pick up on that specificity. It makes you easier to read in the best way. Your opinions do not feel borrowed for the room. She may disagree with half of them. That is not the point. What holds her attention is the sense that there is a real person there to disagree with. 8. She can see that your life existed before her attention. You mention the friend you have known for 25 years, the Sunday breakfast you never skip, the project you keep returning to, the place you visit because it means something to you. None of it is presented as a resume, but together, those details create a picture. You are not standing in front of her waiting to be chosen so your life can finally begin. There are already people, habits, loyalties, mistakes, and good years behind you. For the right woman, that does not make you harder to approach. It makes you more dimensional. She is not looking at an older man who has less time left to become interesting. She is looking at a man who has already had enough time to become someone. That is why some older men get more attention than they realize. It is rarely one perfect feature. It is the accumulation of small evidence, decisions without drama, stories without selling, preferences without permission. A life that does not collapse when one attractive woman enters the room. You may call those things ordinary because you have been living with them for years. She has only been watching them for 5 minutes. If you have reached this far, tell me which one you never realized women noticed in the comments.